Starting a business can feel overwhelming. It can feel like there's so much to do, so much information to learn, and perhaps you're feeling like, I don't even know if I can do this. And so, what I want to do for you is I want to make the process of starting a business as simple as possible. And so, in this video, I'm going to break down the steps that you need to take in order to start your business, and I'm also going to provide to you resources that can help you along the way. Hey, if you're new here, hey, if you are just coming back, my name is Shanice, and my purpose is to ensure that online moneymakers are able to, one, maximize your presence, and two, increase your sales. And you cannot increase your sales if you have not started the business. And so in this video, I really want to help you to get to a place of thinking about starting the business to actually starting the business. And the idea for this video came about because I'm actually at a place where I'm starting my second stationery business and I'm super excited. Now, as I look to start this business, I actually found myself in a place of inaction. I've had this business idea for a little over a year. I got the idea, I started acting on it, and then something interrupted that process. And because of that interruption, I was never able to actually dive back in and start the business. And I realized that I wasn't moving forward because I hadn't really planned out the business. Now, my first stationery business, I did not plan it at all. I didn't work through a business plan. I didn't come up with a marketing plan. I literally just did it. And with this business, I actually want to take a different approach where I want to do things step by step. I want to plan it out. And so I actually decided to create myself a checklist to help me move through the different stages and document the process as I'm starting this business. And I then decided that, you know what, I'm going to share that checklist with you. And so that is the main resource that I'm going to be using in this video. And this resource is also available to you if you want to grab it for yourself. It is fully editable in Google Docs. You can use it on your iPad or you can print it out. I'm going to be using it on my iPad. So what I love about this resource that I created is that not only is it a checklist, but I also included a business plan template embedded into the checklist so that you don't skip over that step. Now, while I don't think you need a business plan in order to start the business, I do find that having a business plan is really effective as you go to start this business because it helps you, the business owner, to have a clear mind, a clear vision, a clear purpose behind what you're doing. Now, the business plan template that I've chosen to embed in this checklist is actually my take on a lean business plan. So a lean business plan is a value-based plan, meaning that you're not going to waste time creating things that you don't actually need or putting in information that's not useful. Instead, it's a simplified approach to a business plan, which means that you're able to put down the essential information and skip the nonsense. So what I did was I transformed elements of the lean business plan and the traditional business plan in what I'm calling a 7-paragraph business plan that I've embedded into this checklist for us. And so as I go through this video, I'm going to be referring to this to help share some of this information with you. And again, if you want to grab a copy, you can go to shaniceonbiz.com or you can click the link that's going to be in the description. Let's hop in. All right, so as we're looking to get started, let me quickly let you know that I did break this down week by week so that you're able to start your business over the course of 4 to 5 weeks. And so that's how we're going to approach it as we talk about this. So in the very first week, week 1, you're going to be focusing on researching and planning. So as you look to conduct your research, the very first thing that you want to do is validate your business idea. So I'm assuming you already have an idea for your business. And so the first thing you want to do is hop online and try to do some research into that business idea. So you want to look into demand for whatever you're thinking about. You want to look into competition and you want to start thinking about your customer and what they actually need. Now you can use things like Google Trends. You can also use Answer the Public. You can also create a simple survey using Google Forms or even SurveyMonkey. And with this, you can send it out if you already have a social media following, if you already started like a small email list. Perhaps you have some customers who have purchased something from you already. So you want to start getting some research as much as possible before you actually dive in. So this is pretty much validating that business idea. Now, once you validated your business idea, you got to name your business. Now, as it concerns naming your business, you can go for a creative approach. So, something like Purple Monkey is creative. So, as soon as I hear Purple Monkey, I don't know exactly what your business offers, right? This could be consulting, this could be food, it could be whatever. So, I'm not sure what your business offers, and it may make me, kind of want to find out like, hey, Purple Monkey, what's that? So, that's one approach that you could take. The second approach that you could take is something more literal. So, something like cat stationery or personalized stationery co. Like, I know exactly what your business is about because you say stationery in the name. So, yeah, choose whatever works for you. The business that I'm currently starting, I find that I have a mixture of a creative and a literal name. I'm not going to tell y'all what that business is, not just yet, but I do have a mixture of literal and creative. And so you are able to find a sweet spot if you do some digging. You need some assistance with finding a business name. There are lots of websites that you can utilize, but in this resource, I do link to Namecheap, which is a site that you can use, because the next thing you need to do once you decide on a name is you need to make sure that that name is available. When I say available, I mean you want to make sure that the social media handle is not taken. You want to make sure that you can purchase the domain. So these are things that's important. You don't want to start your business with a name that's already taken, because you're not going to be able to purchase a domain, and that sucks. And you're not going to be able to set up your social media using your business name, and that is going to suck. In addition, you also need to make sure that your name is available in your state as you look to register your business. You don't want your business name to be too identical to a competitor, because your customers may just as well end up on their website, right? So you really want to do some research as you look to choose that name. All right, now once you choose your business name, something that you can do, which I've included here in this step on this checklist, is to start thinking about funding, right? So you're going to start a business. I think this is the perfect time before you actually do anything else to figure out, how am I going to fund this business? Do I have savings? Do I need to think about loans and researching possible loans? Do I have assistance from someone? Can I do some type of crowdfunding? Now, a lot of people leave this to later on in the process, but I think it's really important that, you think about the business name and you think about, how am I going to get this money to get this up and running? If you don't have the resources to get this up and running, now you need to think about an alternative business model. Can you do something like print on demand? Can you do something like handmade? Can you do like a pre-order system? So once you start thinking about this early, you can also start thinking about the solutions. Once you've completed those three elements, you're ready to move into what I'm calling the 7-paragraph business plan. For the 7-paragraph business plan, I literally just have boxes that you fill in. So each box you put in a paragraph and you answer the questions that's given to you. And I'm going to read through a couple of the questions for you so you have an idea of what this is going to require. So the very first prompt is for your executive summary. And so it says, identify the core idea of your business and include the product and services that you're going to offer. So here you're going to be basically capturing some things that you would have researched earlier, right? So as you were validating your business idea, looking into competitors, you're also thinking about products and things like that. You're going to capture that in your executive summary. The next one says description. So what problem are you solving for your customers and what is your solution? So once you've completed the business plan, we are now in week 2. Okay, so week 2 is all about legal and financial setup. So here we're talking about everything from LLCs to bank accounts. So the first thing that I do have here on the checklist is to choose your business structure. So do some research into the differences between having an LLC versus a partnership versus a S corp. You want to do some research into that. I also have here that you should look into getting a virtual business address. Now, when you're looking to register your business, you're going to need to put an address that is not a PO box, at least in my state. Those are the rules. You can use a registered agent, right? And so this is just a company that registers your business for you, and they utilize the address that they are able to forward the mail to you. Now, if you're not going that route, you want to make sure to get a virtual business address because this is going to protect your personal information. If you are not comfortable with registering your own business, then look into getting a lawyer or using a website like Taylor Brands. So, Taylor Brands is just one of the many websites that are there to help you register and get your LLC without you needing to go through all the legal things that you may not feel comfortable doing. So, go ahead and do some research into that and make the best decision for you. Now, once you've made your decision and you've decided to either do it on your own or use something like Taylor Brands, go ahead and get that registered. Of course, it is going to cost you. I believe when I was doing it, it cost me a little bit over $200. So just go ahead and look into that, see how much it's going to cost you. Of course, if you go through a lawyer, you might need to pay more. So just do your research there and get that done. And just a disclaimer here, you do not have to register your business before getting started. Here in the US, you are able to use your social security number on a lot of selling platforms. So this is not me saying that you need to register your business and get an EIN before starting. You don't have to do that. It is just a good practice. Next thing you want to do once you have your EIN and your business is registered, you are now able to open your business bank account. Personally, I have 3 accounts. So I have a business debit card with Novo. I'm going to put links in the description for you if you want to get referred. Hey. I also have a credit card with Capital One, and I have a business savings account with Capital One. So those are the 3 accounts that I have. Of course, you also need to look into accounting. So what are you going to be using for your bookkeeping? Personally, I use a spreadsheet. I also use an app called Monarch, which I use to kind of manage business and personal income and expenses. And so that's kind of what I use. But of course, you can use QuickBooks. All right, so once you are done with all your registration in week 2, we're moving into week 3, and the focus of week 3 is branding and marketing. So in week 3, you're going to look at things like setting up your brand. So logo, tagline, perhaps creating some business cards. Of course, you can use Canva. That's what I used. I used Canva to create this logo, and this logo can be trademarked because I created this using simple shapes and text. So just make sure that you're reading the terms and conditions of Canva before you use it. Now, I always like to say when you look at big brands like Walmart or Target, their logo is super simple, right? Just text and simple shapes. And so I would recommend that you create a logo that is similar to that. Don't go trying to do fancy logos that you need to pay graphic designers and all types of things for. Those things can come later on. If you have the money to invest, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I'm just saying it's not necessary. In week 3, you're also going to look into creating a website. A website is just going to help you to have a professional look. And so I'm always recommending websites. You can use something like Hostinger, which is what I use. And I also have a video here that's going to teach you exactly how to create your first website. Now, I will say here that you want to think about your goals. So if your goal is to sell products, perhaps instead of creating your website, you want to wait to create a store, because your Shopify account can function as your store and your website. Whereas if you wanted to use something like WooCommerce, then you would go with Hostinger. So it really depends on your goals and what you want to do. I actually have both. So I started off with Hostinger and WooCommerce, and I still have that website today because it's really cheap to maintain. But I also have a Shopify, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about that decision as we go through the checklist. So the next thing I have here in this checklist, which I keep looking at, is to create a marketing plan. So it's super, super, super important for you to think about marketing even before you start your business. And this checklist has a couple different things. I shouldn't say a couple, a lot of different things that, gets put into that marketing plan, or is going to help you to create that. So a couple things here is to identify your marketing channels, right? So not every marketing platform is going to work for every type of business. So let's say you're starting a business and your target audience is for people over 60. Of course, TikTok may not be the best marketing platform for you because of the age group of your target audience. So perhaps you want to look into something like cold calling or warm calling, right? You want to just look into calling because chances are they're still answering phones, right? They're still watching TV. Not saying they're not on social media, not saying they're not on TikTok. I'm just saying perhaps that is not the main focus of your business and your marketing plan. So once you're done with creating the marketing plan, now you're going to move into establishing the marketing channels. So this just looks like signing up on the different platforms, putting in all the information that's needed. And I also have in the checklist a template for your bio, right? So on a lot of platforms, the bio is really important. And so I do give you a template for the bio that you can utilize. And it's just going to make sure that you have all the important things that's going to help you to actually get customers. And now we are in week 4, and this is all about operations. And actually, although I'm saying that this is week 4, this can actually be done a lot earlier depending on the nature of your business. So as I said, week 4 is all about operations. So this looks like getting your products, getting samples and things like that, looking into sourcing your packaging materials if you have a product-based business. So as I look to start my second stationery business, I am sourcing all of my packaging materials from Amazon. And so I have an Amazon cart right now that has about $250 worth of supplies that I'm going to be getting for this business. So what you want to do is find the places that's going to give you the best deal for all the things that you need to get. Now, I do not recommend investing in branded packaging. It's not something that's needed as you are looking to start your business. Yes, it is something that you can get if you want to. Again, I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but I don't want you to think that you need to invest in this thing just to get started, because branded packaging is not needed. And if you think about it, it's just going to be waste, right? So if you don't have the money to invest in something like 500 to 1,000 pieces, it is going to be really expensive to go with branded packaging. Now, as you scale your business, if you, again, a product-based business, as you scale, you're going to be able to order more units. And so it's going to be really, really affordable. So just think about that as you explore packaging and sourcing your products. Now, shameless plug here, as if this whole video isn't a shameless plug. If you're looking to start a stationery business, I also have a vendors list. And you can get $5 off anything on Shanice on Biz as long as you purchase 2 things. So make sure to take advantage of that, because that's going to mean that you're going to basically get this business plan template for like $3 if you purchase something else. So if you're looking to start a stationery business, consider grabbing the vendors list. The next thing here on the checklist is setting up your online store. So I personally use Shopify right now. As I said, I started with WooCommerce. I still have that, but I also have a Shopify. And the reason why I have Shopify is because Shopify is the only platform that integrates with YouTube. And for Shanice on Biz, YouTube is my main marketing platform. And so it makes sense for me to do what's going to work and help me to convert on YouTube. And that's what I recommend you doing. I don't recommend for you to just do things because a lot of people are doing it. I want you to do what's going to serve you and your marketing plan. So if your marketing platform is going to be YouTube as your main, and you are going to be selling products, then I highly recommend going with Shopify. Now, when I signed up for Shopify, I actually went with the full year for $300 and something, a little close to $400. That is just because that would have given me the most savings over time, and I had the money to invest. So that is something to think about as you are thinking about just how much this business is going to cost you. Next on the list here is customer service plan. So I do want you to start thinking about customer service before you start your business. Depending on where you are going to be selling your products, customer service can literally make or break your business. So on a platform like Etsy, and especially on a platform like Amazon, customer reviews hold a lot of weight. I literally just had a job interview, and this job, my role would have been to manage customer reviews and customer inquiries on Amazon. So basically, my job would have been kind of like a compliance specialist. So apparently, whenever customers use certain terms like fake or low quality, Amazon flags the business and literally threatens to shut them down. And so I need to go in and do control, right? I need to go make sure that the customer complaint is addressed. And then I also need to write a course of action to make sure that customers are not consistently complaining that the product is low quality or fake or things like that. So I didn't accept that job because it just sounded too stressful. And y'all know I have history with Amazon. So I was kind of like, actually not for me, but it really gave me insight into just how important customer service is when you are selling on huge platforms. So I don't want you to look over that. And even with TikTok Shop, if you are going to sell on TikTok Shop, even more important, y'all know what I just saw? I just saw that TikTok Shop changed their policies from a 3-day shipping time frame to a 2-day shipping time frame. Are you serious? So if you have a product-based business, these are things that you need to pay attention to, because honestly, I was thinking that, TikTok would have been my main platform for my stationery business that I'm about to start, and I was going to sell those products on TikTok Shop. So now I've been thinking, like, Shanice, maybe you want to rethink this, because are you in a position to ship out these packages within 2 business days? Because honestly, 2 business days is not a lot of time. So again, more things to think about as you plan to start your business. So we're getting to the end of the checklist, I promise, and I hope that this video has been valuable, as well as I hope that you can truly see the value in this checklist. And please go ahead and check it out if you've made it here so far in this video. So the next thing I did put on here is to look into local options and vending, because I don't want you all to leave out your local market, right? So a lot of times we think about starting a business and we think all the money needs to come from online. And I want to say that I want you to actually look into tapping into your local markets, because some of the money can definitely come from your surroundings, and the people around you also have problems that need to be solved. And so I don't want you looking over your local market. So I did include that on the checklist. All right, now we are moving into what can be week 5, but it's really ongoing, and that is to set up for launch. So you can have a soft launch where you tease the certain products, you release a couple products, see how they do, and then you can have a full launch. I also have here in the checklist something that you could do is set up an event, right? So on TikTok, you could go live, you could do a live event. Say you're gonna go live on July 1st from like 9 to 5 to sell out your products. Like, you could do so many different things. So just some things to consider as you're going through and looking to start that business. I also have on here the need to constantly monitor and adjust, right? Because starting the business is not the finish line, right? It is just another step to your dreams, another step to achieving your goals. So I don't want you to have the mindset that you start the business and it's done. No, honey, you start the business and you get to work, okay? So you're going to need to work in and on the business, and it's going to take consistent work. It's going to take consistent programming. You're going to have to wake up each day and choose the business, choose to work on the business, choose to be all in. And so all the best as you do that. I wish you just nothing but success in your business endeavors. My name is Shanice. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. And listen, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of wrap this up, because we've been talking for a minute. So if you enjoyed this video and the checklist, go ahead and check it out by clicking the link in that description. I'm gonna see you in either one of these videos, or I may see you over on my website. Either way, I wish you nothing but the best as you continue to design your dream life and business. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.